Today, Precarious plays
The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
As is often the case, I noticed a new problem with this game. It's just something where I'm trying to show you these games that we play because I like them, and then I'm like, look, this thing is great. Although I never really noticed before, but that's sort of an inconvenience, isn't it? Damn it! It always happens. Just my desire to impress upon you the quality of these experiences
Just reveals their flaws.
Yeah, it's very discouraging.
Hey, Fairy.
Keep in mind, if you want to try to nab all of those,
One is, right there.
the Great Fairy Mask will draw them to you from further away. You don't quite have to, touch them. But you can ignore that for now if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to focus on the temple just because...
Yeah, I would recommend getting them eventually, but that's not something that we necessarily need to show here. Because the rewards are useful, but it's a sort of an unnecessary additional challenge to try to perform.
Mm-hmm.
An additional performative challenge. So, you don't need to kill the Skulltulas, but I would recommend trying to kill a few Deku Babas.
Deku Babas?
Yeah, the bulb enemies. Because they give you sticks and nuts.
Oh, the plants.
Right.
The thing that's chattering next to me.
Yeah, I think they're called Deku Babas. You can ask Tattle, she'll tell you if they're called Deku Babas. So, they'll give you sticks and nuts, which you will need throughout the temple.
Mm-hmm.
When they're flaccid, they give you nuts, and whenever they are rigid, they give you sticks. I'm sorry that sounds so sexual. I didn't design it. I'm just playing the game.
You could have used a word other than flaccid, though, right?
Just be glad I didn't say turgid.
Okay, you're right.
Okay.
It could always be worse. I forgot the rules.
There's always another level of hell. You can always find that staircase down. So, don't forget that the poison floor here, the poison zone, is much worse for regular Link than it is Deku Link.
Yeah.
So the thing that I noticed that it's actually weirdly bad, whenever you go back in time, you often wind up basically putting a little concert on. I think if you press the shoulder buttons, the top, the not the triggers, but the bumpers, it will turn the map back on. Did we not find the map before? Maybe we didn't find the map before.
Oh, yeah, I guess not.
I suppose it's worth mentioning that we have together, sort of explored this dungeon, on another save file, because it was just too stressful for both of us trying to do this.
And not kill each other.
Yeah, but do all of this live.
For the first time.
Right.
Well, I feel I didn't really do that much.
But we've at least been through that door. I think that I must have used the virtual console save and just nuked it from orbit, basically.
What is this place? Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, I think the map is over there, the map of the compass. Anyway, the point is, whenever you go back in time, you kind of wind up holding a little concert. And it's a little ungainly, right? Mm-hmm. Because you play the Song of Time to go back in time.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes you play the inverse Song of Time to slow the flow of time. Then in this case, we played the Song of Soaring to come to the temple, and then we had to play the Deku song, the area song, to summon the temple. So we had to play the ocarina 4 times in a row, you know? And I never noticed that before. I had never realized, whenever you go back in time, there's a couple of minutes where you're just playing songs that you've memorized, you know? Or alternatively,
Jesus.
flitting between the menu and the ocarina itself to try to
I know the answer to this puzzle, I'm just freaking out. There we go. Okay. Not quite.
Ooh. That was a very generous dodge, I think, on the game's part.
Ha! Eat turds, turtle.
Nintendo hates turtles.
Why?
Oh, just... I mean, it's like mushrooms and turtles and pigs. Those are like the principal old school Mario and Zelda enemies. And it's funny because I would say that turtles are the one that's common to both of them in some cases. Or at least in this case. I was just saying words in an attempt to delight and entertain. Cut me some slack.
I'm sorry. I'm just enjoying myself for the first time.
Why are you doing that? This is Majora's Mask. It is misery on loop, okay? It is the all is lost moment. And someone said it to repeat. That's what this game is.
Well, here's the... God
Actually,
dang it.
You know what it is? Because you've played Ocarina of Time, I can say this and it will mean something to you. Majora's Mask really is like that moment where you step out into, like, the future Hyrule for the first time.
Yeah.
Again and again and again.
Yeah.
That dark realization where it's like, oh no, this is a world in peril.
Well, let me tell you what the little bit of practice that I did has given me. It has given me comfort.
Yeah.
With
It's because it's a short stack. It's giving you comfort with
the flowers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna confess something.
Yeah.
So I had been putting off playing this game because it was stressing me out so badly. Because I'm like, I really love Zelda, and I look like an idiot, and you're stressing me out, and I can't deal with this time pressure and this having the timer being constantly on, because that is the nature of this reality, is just awful, and I was freaking out. But what had happened was,
Oh, okay. I think I know where this is going now. Yeah? What happened? Tell me.
Sorry, I'm puzzling. Not really puzzling.
It had to do with...
Okay, so I forgot about the Song of Soaring completely.
Right.
And I made my way into this dungeon as if for the first time. And I went through the Deku Palace all the way again and did all of the sneaky maps and that stupid shooting flower puzzle with the Deku scrubs that like pop up out of the flowers and shoot at you while you're trying to fly. Like I went through that hellish maze. God damn it. Nope. This is not what I want.
But it'll work. You can hat slap them.
I know, but every time I try to, I end up
damaged.
It's not safe for me.
Okay.
But the point is that I went through all of it and I felt really great about myself.
Because you made good time, right?
I made great time in comparison to what I did. I did the maze, the top-down maze in like 1.
Yeah.
And I did the shooting puzzle in 2.
Yeah.
Like I only got shot twice. And I felt like I was a
you might want to put the Deku,
wonderful genius. Yeah, because I can bounce.
And because weirdly the punishment is less severe than if you fall in as Human Link, because you just get the fade to black. Woo woo woo. But if you're Human Link, you just straight up fucking die.
Well, I've fallen off this enough to tell you that you can at some places like swim to the edge.
Yeah.
And get back up on the stairs before you die.
Yeah.
So at least that, but it's really, really freaky watching Link drown, and then I always have a fairy with me because that's how you do it, and then getting back to life, and I'm like, oh, good. I still have that fairy, and then swimming almost all the way there and then watching him drown a second time. That happened to me, and I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen to me again.
So don't forget to push the block before you try to move the stick. Move the fire with the stick.
Good point. I do that sometimes.
I think that the problem is that you thought that the helping in the region is what was important, but that's actually not. It's kind of sad. It's not the helping that is required. It's the knowledge of having helped in the past. Mm-hmm. Because Link just needs the song to gain entry to the temple. He doesn't have to help the monkey each time.
Yeah.
And it's like that in every region you go to. There's a song that acts as a key to the dungeon for that area. Mm-hmm. And once you have it, you've got it. You don't have to go again. So before you do this, first off,
the ocarina goes there. And then the second thing is the Deku stick goes there. All
and
right,
then the transformation mask goes on the bottom. Now that we've got this, we can move on. But like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Okay. These are fresh kale burps. They're so good for me.